recorded and monitored. Your advance pay account balance is $64.59. For customer assistance, billing inquiries, or to block future calls, dial 1-877-650-4249. To hear the cost of this call, press 8 now. To accept this call, press 5 now. This call is subject to monitoring and recording. Do not use three-way or call waiting features during this call. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Right.
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
Hey, I don't really have anything earth-shattering or any updates. I just wanted to check in. I hadn't talked to you in about 4 or 5 days, and I know it really sucks that you got to be in jail while the rest of us are living our life in freedom. So we were just thinking about you and praying about you, and just checking in.
Yeah, I was thinking of a reason to call you, but that's okay. Yeah, I did get my fresh favorite, so you can tell Ernie that.
Okay.
And then I also, if you can. I mean, I know Kent's not supposed to communicate with me, but I still like to know what he's doing. And
oh yeah. He's got a bunch of stuff scheduled, brother. He's got I think I can't remember the exact dates. Somewhere close to October 11th. It's all on 2peter3.com. I could go get all the dates, but he's going to be coming to Dallas to do a seminar on the creation, the flood, and end times at a church that's hosting it, and it's called Cross Life Fellowship. So he's going to be doing that in Dallas. I think he has some other dates scheduled all over the country after that, and he's I got to say, he's one of the hardest working men I've ever even gotten. It's just he just goes all the time, brother. It's like when he got out of prison, he hit the ground running. I mean, most people would like want a week or two to catch up, and but he just answering emails on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel that's just growing like crazy on subscribers, and it's growing internationally. And he's boldly speaking the truth about all kinds of different topics, creation and all kinds of good stuff. So
good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And he's got some good support from people that love him, helping him set up websites and run his emails. And I never seen anybody that works as hard as he does. He's got some kind of work ethic. It's something else.
So it appears like he's not been blacklisted by the...
Well, hey, you're in prison, so you need to get out here and see this firsthand. It's shameful. It's shameful. Some of the churches, mainstream Christianity and mainstream churches. It's probably like it was before you went into jail, Paul. It's still sad. We got a really, really sad shape when it comes to mainstream. But there's a few, a remnant that's left awake that understand Kent should have never spent a day in jail, and they understand you shouldn't be in jail either. So it's a remnant, brother. It's not like he's on mainstream, CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC or anything. But he's getting, there are some people that understand the history of his situation, and I don't know how many is expected to show up at his first seminar, but it could be as much as 1,000. I hope it is. I went to, I don't know, brother. We'll just have to wait and see,
Good. Well, he's getting to the age he could cut way down and still.
I once knew a guy at West Point and graduated from West Point, and we had a saying about him. We said, this guy does as much by 10 o'clock as the rest of us do all day. So that's kind of like Kent Hovind, If he pulled back like 50%, he'd still do more than the rest of us, So.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. I don't...
You hadn't heard anything about being moved?
It'll be a week and a half before I move here, possibly, so I haven't heard anything else about that.
Okay.
So what was your question?
No, I was going to ask you if you've heard anything about being moved, because the federal camp that you're describing sounds a lot better conditions than the jail that you're currently in. I know that you would look.
No comparison.
Yeah.
No comparison.
We want you to be
horrible here. The food's horrible here at the zoo.
Yeah.
Some people stay up all 2 hours a night talking and making noise. It's a zoo, but I'm pretty good.
This call is from the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
Some people would have almost a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, no, I hear you, brother. And we're praying for you. You got a lot of people out here that love and support you, Paul, and there's always the naysayers, and those folks are, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Braveheart, but there was like an evil guy that tried to rape one of the young virgins in the very beginning of the show. Those people that are the naysayers remind me of that evil guy. You know, they're so vile and disgusting, but you got a much larger group of people that love and support you and are praying for you, brother. And I know it's got to be tough to lose your freedom. I can't even begin to imagine what it's like to lose your freedom, but let me say this too, Paul, and it may be I know it's tough being in Santa Rosa County Jail, but let me share this. When they moved him to federal prison, like within just a few days, brother, they moved him to isolation, and it's almost like that Bureau of Prison establishment, specifically, it used to be run by a guy named Charles E. Samuels Jr., and when he was in charge and they put Kent Hovind in prison, we put a lot of heat on him. Charles E. Samuels Jr., he's an African American that testified before Congress, made an absolute fool of himself because he didn't even know the size of a solitary confinement cell. But we put a lot of pressure on him, and he resigned, right? And there was another.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now they'll make up excuses for everything, but I believe it was because his name was being brought to the light for his involvement with putting Kent Hovind in isolation. Now there was another guy that was the Bureau of Prison warden. I can't think of his name right now either, but it was Yazoo City warden, and we've been putting a lot of pressure on him. So. But he was, Kent, what I'm trying to say is, Paul, they moved Kent to a really nice federal camp at Yazoo City. It was called Yazoo City Low Security. And this warden guy, I remember it now. It's Warden Marcus Martin. Okay, Warden Marcus Martin, African-American guy. He was appointed by, I'm sure, Charles E. Samuels Jr., who was appointed by, who's that, Attorney General, I can't remember the names of the bad guys because I just hate thinking about them. It hurts my mind. There was an Attorney General, African-American, appointed by Obama. I think it was appointed by Obama. Eric Holder. Okay.
Either way.
Yeah, Eric Holder. Eric Holder appointed Charles E. Samuels Jr. He resigned. Charles E. Samuels Jr., I'm pretty sure, had something to do with Warden Marcus Martin. Now, Warden Marcus Martin put Kent Hovind in solitary confinement and kept him there for no reason whatsoever for nearly a month. And I remember Kent Hovind telling me that he asked him, because Warden Marcus Martin walked by one day, like, why am I in here? And I really need to be let out. And he handed him a letter, like explaining, because and Warden Marcus Martin, when Kent Hovind said, "I need to be let out of here," Warden Marcus Martin, his curt and rude response was, "That ain't gonna happen," right? And what happens when Kent Hovind moved to Yazoo City Prison is, like, all the bad guys, all the evil, vile, disgusting hyenas that hate Kent Hovind, they started writing letters to this Warden Marcus Martin, like painting the picture of how evil Kent Hovind was, and just totally untrue and biased and crazy stuff. But Warden Marcus Martin, I guess, bought into it, and he put. The only reason I'm going through this whole story, Paul, is I'm concerned when they move you to Bureau of Prison under federal jurisdiction, and you're not going to be out of Santa Rosa County Jail, which I know how bad that is.
No, they're not.
You don't think they're going to put you in solitary, brother?
No.
I hope not.
I don't think there's any chance of it at all.
Okay, I hope they don't, brother. I hope they don't.
We need to get freedom of information letters out and get those letters that those people wrote.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Well, they do everything vile and disgusting. These people that hate you and they hate Kent Hovind, man, if you ever started dating a girl, they're going to write her letters telling her all the bad. It's like they make it their job, and I really believe some of them are being financially compensated for the evil that they're doing. They make it their job to go after you and Kent Hovind.
Yeah, let me tell you something before we run out of time.
Okay.
I started that court of common law court of record.
Yep.
Action against the judges and also the prosecutor and the IRS agent. Because the judge said that I was supposed to show up down here. If I wanted to challenge personal jurisdiction down here, I could. And then guess what? When I get down here, she doesn't allow me to challenge personal jurisdiction.
Right.
So anyway, that's what the entire case is about. The entire case is to bring all those people together in a common law setting and force them to prove up personal jurisdiction. What did I say, do or sign, for the U.S. court to have jurisdiction? And it's very interesting. They haven't answered that suit for almost 3 weeks because they tried to dismiss it several times, and I keep writing back that they'll be interfering with a law process if they do that.
Yep.
So it's interesting. They haven't answered it for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Kent never wants to get Ernie to look that case up. there is a case number in the federal court.
Okay.
You can look it up.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know, Paul. And just to let you know too, I did send that email to Chris Klotz, and I copied Ernie about your notice to appeal, and also your other. You had me write something out in email, and you dictated it to me, and I wrote it down. Yeah. So I sent all of that to Chris Klotz,
okay,
so he's got it.
Yeah, and Klotz hasn't met with me for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Here I'm supposed to be running an appeal, so I went ahead and filed the notice of appeal and mailed that sometime back. So anyway.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Paul, and you're talking to.
Hasn't been.
Yep. No, you're talking to someone who has a huge distaste for lawyers, all lawyers, every single one of them, and doctors and dentists. I hadn't been a doctor in 30 years, brother, but when Chris Klotz got out of, when that case was over with and it was getting a little bit of attention in the media, he ran straight to the enemy camp and did an interview with him. I was like, what is he doing? He's over there with Peter Riley and Jonathan Swartz and all the anti-Hovind crowd, and he wouldn't give me the time of day. So. I don't think he's ever, even though I send him the stuff that, was dictated by yourself and Kent Hovind, Klotz, won't respond to me whatsoever. It doesn't hurt my feelings, but it just goes in line with my huge distaste for lawyers,
Well, yeah, we'll find out why.
Yeah.
Possibly someday.
Maybe so.
But, good. It sounds like things are going good. I just maybe I'm getting paid $3,600 a day. It's so bad.
Yeah. Well, the Lord sees everything that's going on, brother. I know it's got. I would hate to be in jail, brother. I would be a big crybaby. I would just lose my mind. But we're praying for you, and I don't even think.
What I'm doing right now, I'm helping a guy that he spanked his child with a spoon. They're trying to give him 5 years. They're offering him 5 years. They give him 15 if he doesn't take the offer.
Wow.
It's insane. So.
Now, what did he do again? I missed that. What did you say he did?
He spanked his 13-year-old with a spoon.
Wow, that sounds biblical. Yep. Wow. That's
anyway. So so I'm doing some really good things in here while I'm in here, and another guy there's absolutely no evidence of him ever touching a child, and they're trying to give him life in prison for touching his own daughter.
Wow.
There's no evidence.
Wow.
So there's seems to me like they're just trying to fill up these prisons.
It's all about the money. Yeah.
It's from the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office.
And when they fill those up, they'll build some more.
It's all about the money. They're trying to make some money. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than they just want all these facilities around in case they ever need them. I think also for when the government goes really bad, they'll have a place to put that many more people, process that many more people.
Right. Hey, Paul, did you last time we talked? You told I believe you told me not to mail you any paperbacks. I was going to mail you that book, The Real Abraham Lincoln, but I think I remember you saying not to do that until you get to the federal camp. Do you still want me to do that, or since you're going to be there a couple weeks, do you want me to go ahead and mail you?
Oh no, don't.
Okay.
No, don't do that. I've got enough here to read until I get to the camp.
Okay.
Just mail it to me there.
Okay, because it's like only like $7 on.
I hate to get it.
No, it's real cheap. I mean, it ain't like it's like $3 to mail it and $7 to buy it. So it's cheap if you wanted it, but if you got enough to keep you busy, it's completely up to you, brother. Don't worry about the money because it's like really, really cheap anyway.
Well, if you can get it to me fast, get it to me fast, and I can read it in I can read it in a week easily.
I would really love to hear your opinion on it because it talks about how Lincoln was arguing for a national bank and he was bad-mouthing Andrew Jackson, and I kind of like Andrew Jackson, and he was definitely anti-constitutional when he was.
Go ahead and send it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and send it to me.
All right.
That'd be fine.
All right, I'd love to do that. Yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion on it.
To read here anyway.
Okay. Is there any messages you want me to pass on to Ernie or any?
Get him on a bunch of apricot seeds.
Amen.
Tell him to look up different oils for treatment.
Well, yeah, amen, brother. And the concern is that because he was associated with Kent Hovind, they're feeding him stuff, or they poked him with something in prison to try to, get. I'm concerned they're feeding you bad stuff in there. I don't mean to scare you, but I don't trust these guys at all.
Yeah, I know it. That's what's scary about getting a fresh favor. They can stack that thing.
Yeah, I know it, brother. It's terrible. It's terrible.
I wouldn't put it past them one bit.
Yeah. Well, we love you and praying for you,
I'll
Paul.
let you go then.
Okay, we're praying for you and we care for you, and we'll talk to you later. Call me if you need anything, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, get that guy on those oils. It's real important.
We will. Vitamin B17. Okay, God bless you, Paul.